I remember.
All right, so what's I'm sorry, you said go back for.
Yeah, just there's fairies, and we gotta go back into the other room, into like the room where with like the maze. So here's what we do: we're gonna go back into the room with the rising platform.
Okay. With
Get
the
a fairy there.
You want to go not the flower one with the flower in the center. You want to go to the one with the rising and falling platform.
Yeah,
first.
but we're going. Yeah, there's a fairy still in this room because you can see the hairs glittering. And there's a button by the torch that you haven't pressed yet.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of YouTubers, Sickaby, that like I feel like we all watched as younger people that definitely said and did a lot of. I feel like there's no way that Smosh didn't do something racist. Is that
watched Smosh?
I feel like that's fair to say. I feel like Smosh definitely had something going on. But I can't remember any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's plenty. It's wild.
It sounds like I'm not listening and I keep interrupting.
No, you're good.
But,
you're good.
There's like a hornet's nest or a hive in one of the corners. It has the fairy in it. And yeah.
Cool.
I remember one time we had to walk past, like, in order to get to our babysitters after school, who lived right on the same street as us. It was super convenient. We had to walk by another school, and something about it, like, it was probably just because we didn't know the kids, but they just seemed mean and scary. And one time, my brothers were walking ahead, and one of the kids, I guess, had been picking on him in the past, and one of them went up and, like, punched him. And I went up to that kid and kicked his fucking ass.
That's awesome. Was it your younger brother?
Yeah, I only have younger brother.
Correct. You know what? You were right in saying that.
No, I embarrassed my older brother. But the problem was that I beat him up way worse than, so I got huge trouble.
Wow.
So go over to the torch that you lit.
Oh, I want to hit that switch here. I jumped down. These ladders. Another ridiculous thing that I got in trouble for, was me and my buddy
Dan. That one
Dan.
was deserved. I drew blood on that kid.
Yeah, that's deserved, but you know, there's degrees of like. I feel like you didn't.
Action. It was the excessive amount.
Right. Yeah, it was the degree of which you did it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wait, how am I supposed to get on there?
My brother did.
I thought I could just yump
Am
over
I
there.
stupid? Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly.
I thought so too. Well, that switch definitely needs to be pressed. Maybe I could fly over there. Is that good? I think that is it. So again, high school gym class. Apparently, I was just the problem child there. Me and my buddy Dan, who you've spoken to in the past.
Yeah.
We're joking about something. We were doing funny voices. We were doing like the, yeah, you know what I'm gonna say about that, see, yeah, and we were like doing that back and forth for whatever reason. And then we started talking about like being like pugilists. And then we did like the stereotypical like hand.
We're calling it pugilists.
Oh, we were. I think that was right around the time that was right around the time that the pugilist like Game Grumps joke came out.
Oh.
You know, world famous pugilist Tommy Ray Hanley.
Tommy Ray Hanley.
Yeah. So that was like junior year of high school that this happened. So yeah, we're making the.
Sorry. I don't want to get you off track. What year did you graduate?
2014.
I forgot. Well, I'm constantly forgetting that
So
I'm 2 years old.
Yeah, so 2013 would have been, right around the time that joke. Yeah, because Dan just showed up in game rooms. Yeah.
That checks out.
So we were jokingly doing like handlebar mustache, like pugilist. So we do like the classic, like, yeah, you put up your dukes, and like the really over animated, like you would only see in like a black and white film. And we did that towards each other, never throwing a swing, and we got in trouble and sent to the office for fighting.
I would have been like, bruh, who's gonna fight like that?
Bruh, you're in high school and you see two kids. We were circling each other with the over-exaggerated hands, going in a perfect circle around one another, going meow, 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 meow. And one of the teachers was like, "I've seen enough violence." That's quite enough. What? How many fairies have we missed? Do you think?
Well, there's 4 in this room. So go back. We got to go to the maze room and get at least 2 there.
Let me see how many we have left by grabbing one of these guys.
Yeah, because there's 15 total.
Should tell us how many we have left. This is our 10th. Okay, so 13. Yeah, so we have 2 left besides the ones in this room. So we want to go to
the 10th.
That was the 10th.
Yes. And you have 2 left?
2. That was our 10th, and then we have 3 left in that room, in the final room before the boss.
Oh, I see.
So we have 2 left besides those, and we still don't have a compass.
I don't think it's that important.
The compass? No, it's not.
Go down to the lower level.
Joke's on you. I'm at the higher level. I'm going back down. I'm just kind of checking rooms with the mask. So hop into the lower level.
What's the worst injury you ever sustained?
You know what? I've never broken a bone.
You're lucky.
I've never really gone through anything traumatic. The most serious injury I can think of was I was a kid. I want to say I was 9 or 10, and I had just gone through a growth spurt, but I still think I'm like the weight of a small child. So there was this plastic bin that held a bunch of our toys. So I went to stand on the bin to reach something else, and the bin broke, and it broke in such a way to where the maze room. Okay, yeah, this is definitely one of them. Maybe both are in this room. The bin broke, and it broke in such a way to where the side of it made like a point with the plastic, and then that point that was just then created cut from like the bottom of my leg all the way up. It wasn't super deep, but as a child, and that being like the first like major injury I've ever sustained, it was pretty like, I think it was, it's hard to say because it's so far back in the past, but I think it was more shocking than it was actually painful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I can't think of anything worse than that. Swim under to get it? Oh, that makes sense.
And then the other one is in like one of those nests.
Oh yeah, like the corner. I remember.
Yeah, it's up underneath the main platform.
The worst. Fell off your bunk bed and hit yourself in the forehead. Ooh.
Ouch. How do you remember that if you were a baby?
She might not. It might just be like, oh, remember that time? Maybe. When you say baby, do you mean like a baby? Like a baby-ass baby?
The doctor dropped me. Here you go. Mississippi. Here is your new child. Oops!
Mississippi.
Oops!
There's something about the username being the name. That's like my favorite thing. Maybe two. Wow. I once fell off the top of a bunk bed into like a bin full of like building blocks. And like my back went into it, and like it actually didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. Anyway,
The worst
whoa.
I ever sustained
Yeah.
was we were biking. I was biking at Charleston Lake Provincial Park, which amazing spot to go camping. It is just the best.
Just camping.
Extremely nostalgic for that. But to get to like the comfort station, you had to go very uphill. It was a weird. Like you could drive along through it. It starts uphill, slopes down. There's more campsites as you go along, and then it does like a U. It's like it's just a loop that dips down on one side and comes back up. So I was pedaling up to get to the comfort station, and whatever, had my shower. It was fine. Because like having a shower was actually like a huge ordeal when you're that far away. So you'd be gone for like 40 minutes to an hour.
Right.
And then I was biking back, and I was never like a rip racing speed biker or anything like that. I was pretty cautious. I kept pretty much tight grip on those on the brakes. But then I hit, like it was all, it wasn't loose gravel, but it was like, it was not smooth pavement either.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It was like jagged road.
They're like almost like driveway type, like in between.
Yeah,
Where
except there was
it's
one...
not smooth, but yeah, I get what you mean. It doesn't sound like I do, but I get you.
Yeah, it was very jagged, and I must have hit like a particularly loose piece of gravel because I hit it, and my bike stopped, and I went flying over the handlebars and scraped my face all along the gravel. My bike spun afterwards. My kickstand flew off into the woods. Never saw that again. But it just so happened that I was right near my campsite, so I screamed because it hurt so bad, and like my cut on my elbows and my legs. And my dad, like the one image I remember was like holding my face, and my dad came running. And my dad and I drove back to the hospital that night. Had to get a bunch of stitches. Oh, it sucked. If you've ever seen a picture of me, you might notice like a mark on my upper lip, and that is a scar from that accident.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was super not cool.
It doesn't sound like it.
The way forward is on the other side.
Yeah. I think now that I think about it, I've had a recurring pain that I recall vividly because it's happened. Have I talked about my eye with you before? Is this a thing we've discussed? So I don't exactly know what's wrong with it. This started, it's either in 2015 or 2016 that this problem started occurring. Fuck you, Sculpture. I woke up one morning and my eye felt, they're really gonna spawn me on there. My eye felt ridiculously dry to the point where it was like in like some really bad pain. I don't know why I thought I was gonna be able to do that. So if you've ever had like a dried out eye to the point where like you can't even like open it, these enemies are really kicking my ass. I don't know what the fuck's happening. They're just going after me. Yeah, it's one of the worst pains ever. So I had a couple of times where it was like, oh, that's pretty bad. Like I couldn't open my eye for like a couple hours. It was like, and there have been other times where it is the most, like, I feel like there is a glass shard in my eye and it needs to be removed. Like it was the worst pain I've ever been in my life, and it kept happening. And finally this year it happened again. Maybe a month. Finally. But finally,
After all of this time.
well, before, because I'm so, I think it's because I'm poor and I don't want to have to go to a doctor. But I would
That
just
sentence
like,
is just so wrong.
yeah, isn't it? But I would be like, okay, it's fine. I can open it after like 15 minutes, and then it'll hurt like the rest of the day. Like it'll be like a tiny pain, but I'll just work through it. It'll be fine. So about a month or two ago, it was the worst it's ever been, the most painful it's ever been, to the point where I was like physically shaking, like in just extreme pain. And that happened at 6 a.m. and I had to work at 11 a.m. And I stayed up because I was in so much pain. And then eventually I was just like, it's not getting any better and I literally can't go to work. And I don't know what to do. So my girlfriend had to drive me to urgent care. And they were like, okay, I don't know what's wrong with it, but we're going to numb it. And then we're just going to give you a bunch of eye drops and just hope it works. And it hasn't come back since.
Hooray!